On a cold winter morning in 1915, workers dredging mud from the bay floor for the Panama-Pacific International Exposition dropped their shovels and froze at the site before them. What emerged from meters deep in the muddy bottom was not a rusty shipwreck or the remains of an old pier, but rather the remnants of massive metal towers manufactured with a precision that even modern engineering could not explain. Stretching from the Marina district to the Embarcadero, and from there to the not yet existing shores of Treasure Island, these structures were woven like a network across the bay floor, positioned with geometric perfection, and each possessed metal skeletons joined with tolerances that even the most advanced factories of that era could not have imagined, cylindrical housings and mysterious coil arrangements within them. As workers cleaned the surfaces of these massive structures, they realized they were facing a production quality far beyond the riveting and casting technology of 1915. The metal parts were assembled with such tight tolerances that not even a knife blade could be inserted between them. And this precision was only a dream even in the most advanced weapons factories of that period. Even more astonishing was the equipment found on these towers. Geometrically wound copper coils, cylindrical structures that could be called resonance chambers, complex conductor networks connected to grounding systems, and most importantly, arrangements that showed striking similarities to the wireless energy transmission systems Nikola Tesla theoretically developed in the early 20th century, yet appeared to have been built decades before him. When engineers assigned to the exhibition grounds descended to the bay floor to examine these structures, they had to admit there was no logical explanation for the technology they encountered. Some parts consisted of ceramic compounds with crystalline structures that material scientists of 1915 did not recognize, which could only be produced in modern high-temperature furnaces, and how these materials were shaped and what technology was used to process them was completely unknown. The most striking detail was the relationship between these towers located at different points in the bay. There was exactly 3.7 kilometers distance between the tower in Marina and the one at Embarcadero, yet both were in perfect angular positioning relative to each other, as if they were parts of a giant mathematical formula designed to resonate at a specific frequency. And the third tower in the Treasure Island area stood at the center of this geometric harmony, exactly at the ideal point of the triangle formed by the other two. This discovery alarmed San Francisco's highest authorities because there was an inexplicable situation that didn't fit history and questioned the foundations of modern science. If these structures had truly been buried in the bay floor for years, perhaps centuries, this completely contradicted San Francisco's known history, and more importantly, if these structures were an energy transmission system, by whom, for what purpose, and from what sources were they built? By mid-1915, exhibition preparations were progressing rapidly, and there were tons of work to be done. But at precisely this point, an unexpected order came. These advanced technology structures on the bay floor would be immediately reburied under the pretext of meeting the exhibition schedule, their surfaces to be covered with massive layers of sediment and mud. Construction crews, despite their protests, had to comply with the order, and within a few weeks, those magnificent metal towers, resonance chambers, geometric coil arrangements, and crystal ceramic components were sent back to the dark depths of the bay as if they had never existed. In official reports, these structures were referred to as old telegraph equipment or maritime wreckage, as if these technological marvels from beyond the centuries were simple scrap parts. Dozens of files containing detailed technical drawings of these structures mysteriously disappeared from municipal archives, and even today it is unknown where these drawings are. An even more suspicious point was the manipulation of construction photographs. In official photos taken during the bay excavation, the massive towers and complex connection systems clearly visible in the background were either carefully cropped in documents presented to the public or labeled as temporary construction scaffolding, as if there was a deliberate effort to prevent anyone from questioning the true nature of these structures. Some workers tried to tell local newspapers what they had seen, but no publication dared to print these claims. The powerful businessmen and politicians of that era wanted the Panama-Pacific Exposition to be presented as the triumph of the modern age, and any rumor that would cast a shadow on this story had to be suppressed. Years later, a retired engineer on his deathbed told his grandson about those incredible structures he saw on the bay floor, and said, "They were far more advanced than us. Perhaps they were here long before us, and we just built a city on their remains." But this revelation also remained within the family and never reached the public. Today, beneath the sedimentary layers of San Francisco Bay, in the depths below the foundations of the modern city's skyscrapers and bridges, those mysterious towers may still be standing. While the dream of wireless energy transmission is credited as Tesla's genius, perhaps the real technology was developed much earlier by an unknown civilization and then systematically hidden. The 1915 Exposition was a magnificent showcase designed to show the world how new and revolutionary electricity and modern technology were. But perhaps the real purpose was to erase from humanity's memory a much older, much more advanced technological past. Because if the public had learned that such advanced technology existed beneath their feet, in the foundations of their own cities, the entire narrative of modern history, the idea of progress, and the perception of civilization, beginning with the Industrial Revolution, would have been fundamentally shaken. The truth hidden in the muddy darkness of the bay could be this: San Francisco was an important node in a wireless global energy network. Perhaps this network covered the entire world, and as a result of a catastrophe, a war, or a deliberate destruction operation, this system collapsed, was then forgotten, and a new civilization was built upon it. The 1915 discovery was an echo of this ancient world, and that echo was quickly silenced by the guardians of the modern order, because some truths are far greater than humanity can accept. And one of these truths is this: perhaps while we think we are progressing, we are actually just rebuilding in the shadow of a forgotten past. Upon its remains, and in the depths of the bay, those magnificent towers covered with mud are silently waiting, perhaps for someone to come and discover them again one day, or perhaps never to emerge at all.